Hello, travelers. I'm Wheelchair Jimmy, and I'm rolling through Las Vegas today, and I thought I'd give you some wheelchair accessibility tips if you're coming through here for the very first time. Now, most people think of Las Vegas as the Strip. It's set in the Vegas Valley, surrounded by the beautiful Sierra Nevada mountains and the Spring Mountains, but the Strip itself is very level, very flat, very easy to navigate if you're in a wheelchair. The city itself has done a great job. The Metro buses, the Deuce buses, which are the double-decker buses, the monorail, the trams, all very wheelchair accessible. There are also a number of wheelchair accessible taxis. Now, when you think about the Strip, there's these large, these massive casino hotels. Some have up to 4,000 rooms. Most are very wheelchair accessible. The casinos, the restaurants, getting around, all the facilities are very accessible. There are a number of stairs, there are escalators, but there are almost always elevators, commercial elevators, to get around. So it's easy to navigate around the casinos. The one I didn't like was Caesar's Palace, where they had one of those small hydraulic lifts to get from the casino to the shopping area, and my party had to wait 20 minutes, and we eventually just went a different way. So I would tell you to avoid Caesar's Palace. Now, if you're trying to navigate around Las Vegas Boulevard, it's about 2 miles from one end to the other, and you would say, no problem, you can do that. If you're in a car in the afternoon or evening, well, I tried that. It took me 30 to 45 minutes, a lot of crowds, and so I found that was not the best approach. You can also walk it. 2 miles isn't that bad, but to get across Las Vegas Boulevard, and a number of the other main intersections, they have these massive walkways, and that's the only way to get across these streets. You go up 30 stairs, walk across the walkway and down 30 stairs. The city has put in elevators on both sides, so you take the elevator up, get off, go across, come down. It's slow, it's inconvenient, but it is accessible. Now, if you're down on Las Vegas Boulevard and you decide to go into the casinos, a lot of them are set back, a quarter mile or so, and some have very steep inclines to get up to the main entrance. So that too can be a challenge if you're trying to go to multiple facilities over the course of a day. One of the best ways I found were the trams. There are 2 trams, both are free. One goes from the Luxor to the Excalibur to the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Suites. The other one goes from the Aria to the Bellagio to the Monte Carlo. You just go up an elevator, roll right into the tram. It fits any size wheelchair. They run every couple minutes, and they're free. A great way to see a couple different properties. You can also take the monorail, goes to a number of properties. You buy a 1 to 7 day pass, so that's not free, but it's very wheelchair accessible. Now, there are also attractions in Las Vegas. One of the ones I enjoy was I went down to the Hoover Dam, about 25 miles outside of Las Vegas. It's off of the I-93. There's now a bypass. When you go down to the Hoover Dam, there is a parking structure just as you come into it. It's a big, massive parking structure built into the side of the mountain. It is wheelchair friendly, and you don't want to miss it. When I got there at 11 o'clock, it was already full. And if you bypass it, there really is no place to turn around. There's no place to do a U-turn. I'm sure it's illegal. And all of the other parking structures were up a significant grade. Now, if you're at the Hoover Dam, there's a visitor center, very accessible. There are wheelchair accessible restrooms. There's elevators accessible. The tour itself is not wheelchair accessible. But it's a great experience. It was built back in the Depression. It's a real man-made engineering feat that you really should go to. Back to the Las Vegas Strip, Madame Tussauds is another attraction, very popular. To get there, it's right next to the Venetian, but you can't get to it from the Venetian. You have to go outside the Venetian. You come around, look for Staffora's retail shop. There's an elevator stuck back in the corner. You take it up to the 2nd floor, buy your ticket, get back on the elevator, take it to the 3rd floor for the attraction. This elevator is the slowest I think I have ever been on. It was very frustrating. I would tell you to avoid it. They weren't very friendly to me, but if you have to go, it is accessible. Now, one of the other things you can do is you can go down to Fremont Street and the Fremont Street Experience. It's a couple miles outside of town. It's an older area. The hotels and casinos were built many years ago, not nearly as accessible as those on the Strip. A number of the casinos, if you want to go from the casino to Fremont Street, there are stairs at multiple locations of these casinos going out to Fremont Street. I found a number of those small hydraulic lifts taking you up to their restaurants. I hate those. A number of casinos also had restrooms that were not wheelchair accessible. So I would tell you, if you can, avoid the Fremont Street area. It's not nearly as accessible as the Las Vegas Strip. Now, if you're thinking about Las Vegas, a couple other quick tips. The hotel rates are much cheaper, almost half the price as they are on weekend dates. You will also find that there are a number of properties that are smoke-free. There's a lot of smoke in some of these casinos, and if you're concerned about that, get yourself a smoke-free hotel casino in Las Vegas. There are a number of them. Come visit us at Wheelchair Jimmy. We'll take you through the hotels, the casinos, the restaurants, the attractions. We'll tell you where to go and which properties to avoid. Roll on, America!